Namaskar. Good morning, dear friends. Different parts of the world, different timing. It's 11 a.m. here in India, and I welcome you to Living Forward, doing more with less. It's an absolute pleasure to have with me my dear friend Surendran, Suren for me, founder and CEO of Success Gyan. And I'm excited to have a very interesting conversations about actionable thoughts for today. Good morning, everybody. You're all joining in. It's just 11 a.m. A lot of you, very early for you, right? But for a lot of us who are early morning people, it's quite a few hours have already passed. And today I'm very happy that I'm meeting you with another edition of Living Forward, doing more with less. Namaskar. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Yeah, it's kind of overcast. It sometimes is raining, sometimes it's not in Mumbai. In different parts of the world, we've got different weathers. We're coming from different time zones. So to begin with, even as all of us are gathering, I just want to set the tone for today. This is the season of hope. That's right. Typically, when we look at some weather, when it rains, we say it's the monsoon. When it's cold, we say it's winter. When it's hot, we say it's summer. And when there's festivities, we say, hey, this is the festive season. But in this season, where there is a whole lot of something which we do not like, we thought that how about we will infuse something into this season, this life, and we are calling it the season of hope. So as we begin this conversation today, it is also a beginning of the season of hope where we are going to infuse hope into life. So on that note, I'm inviting my dear friend, Suren. Welcome, Suren. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Ashish. It's totally a honor to be in your Living Forward show. Loving it and really excited for the conversation we're going to have.
Super duper. And today we are going to have a conversation on how can we do more with less. All right. So Suren is somebody who's the founder and the CEO of Success Gyan. I know him for a few summers now, and we've been doing some very interesting work together. So he's a person that I've been following, and is a person that inspires me a lot for a couple of very interesting things. I want to set the ball, absolutely straight right now. He's a person who believes in action. He's a person who believes in dreams. He's a person who's passionate about things, and then he turns and brings it to fruition. That is something which I really am always inspired by Suren. And today we are going to have an interesting conversation, which is going to be very much in sync with these times. So we're going to be talking about these times, but we really are going to break the sync of this present moment. What do you say, Suren? Huh?
Ashish, I'm really waiting because I believe people are going to get a conversation which will really open up their mind, make them see what they can do with the resources they have, and actually reinvent a new life. So I'm really looking forward for this conversation.
Fantastic. And that is the ethos of Success Gyan. What is? Can you just explain to us what does Success Gyan, the thing that you founded, what is it about? Can you just tell us about the beginnings, and then we'll zoom in into what we are going to do today?
Okay, thank you, Ashish. And for people, all of you know Ashish, acting side, a training side, but I have seen him on stage. Ashish, you are a firebrand. The energy you bring to the stage is like brilliant. I'm so happy for our friendship. And it's a great honor to be in Living Forward show. Just to give you a fast background, Success Gyan was started in 2012 with a simple intention to bring the world's best education at affordable prices. That was the intention. And to bring the world's best trainers to India and take India's best to the world. We had two lines, that's all we had. And for the last 8 years, we've been doing this across the country and across the world. Last year alone, we did 150 plus seminars across the country. That's the number. So every week we have 12.
And what's the number of people? Because I have been at so what is the number of people who are there in the room?
Average, our room size is from 400 to 2,500, depending on where you're doing. Yeah, the first time we spoke in Bangalore, if you remember, I think we had 1,200 people. Yeah. And we started the training at 8 a.m. and you asked me backstage. Remember, right? Backstage, you asked me, do people come at 8 a.m. for a training? And 8 a.m. when you went on stage for 45 minutes keynote, we had 1,200 packed audience. That's what we do.
Wow, wow, wow. So what's phenomenal about the kind of work that Suren is engaged in, and what I love about it, Suren, I'll let you into that, is that you give people hope. Typically in most of our lives, there are many things that we wanted to. We wanted to educate ourselves, we wanted to upskill ourselves, but because of reasons of family, because of finance, because of my parents, because of brother, because of this, because of a whole lot of problems, I couldn't do it. But guess what you give people is an opportunity for people to, hey, listen, that is gone, what do you want to do now? So what I love about life itself, Suren, is that you and I, each one of us, we are at the core of our life. We are going to be the change agents. If we want to make some change, then you and I are going to make the changes in our lives. And what I like about education, especially non-formal education, is that it gives opportunity and hope to people who were not lucky enough, or probably didn't have the right kind of marks to get into the biggest of institutions. But does it mean that people who do not get into large institutions to study, do they not have a chance in life? And that is what I love about Success Gyan, that you actually are affording people an opportunity to create something interesting. Now, here is my first question. So what are the numbers that you've been doing over the last few years?
As you know, we did last year 150 plus seminars, and we've been growing 200% every single year. This year,
Wow.
Ashish, we have a target to do 100 crores. We are a debt-free
Absolutely.
company. We are
Yeah.
debt-free, no private
Yeah.
equity, 100% owned by me, and growing at 200%. That's what
Can you
success
believe
gets.
it? We are talking of a rocket enterprise, right?
Yeah.
Everything going in place. It started with a dream, right? It started with something. Can you just tell us a little bit about how you began?
Okay, just to give a little background, I've been working from the age of 18. I never went to college. That's a different story for a different time. I started working from Delhi, and I'll tell you the reason I started Success Gyan was 2006, March 5th. I was in my worst low, and somebody pushed me to a one-day seminar by Brian Tracy. He had come to Chennai. I'm from Chennai. I was in my worst low. I sat there. Something he said changed my life, and I knew what I had to fix. So from that day in my head, like once I make money, I want to start something where people can get this education. This
Ah,
education we can actually transform. So that was the seed of Success Gap. In
got it.
2012, after building multiple business, I said, let me start bringing. The first guy I brought was Brian Tracy, my mentor. And we
Got
bought
it.
400 people. As you say, rest is history. We have bought Jack
Yeah.
Canfield, you name it, Robert Kiyosaki, everyone. And you have come at least 20 times to a stage. You come Delhi,
Yes.
Mumbai, you come, and that's what we do. And as you know, Ashish, really doesn't matter what's your background, really doesn't matter what's your education, it really doesn't matter what is your past. If you decide that if you want to take control of your life, the resources are there for you to become successful in every facet of your life. That's
Got
what we
it.
want to get. And the
Got it.
resources right now in your fingertips. You don't need to
Yep.
spend a lot of time, a lot of money. You can get this. That's the beauty of what we are trying to do.
Fantastic. So let's just go into it. So you had a dream, then you kind of took a few years, you got your resources together, and then you brought that to fruition. So how many years has Success Gyan been up till March of this year? How many years have you been in action?
This is ninth year for us.
Ninth year in action and growing at 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're planning to 100 crores in 2020.
The way we are going, we don't need to do anything new. I just
Yeah.
had to do what I did in 2019. This year would have hit 100 crores. That was the
Super.
target.
So here is the thing that I just want to set out for you. But you, at one point, you had nothing. You were down and out. You did a program with Brian Tracy. You got something for yourself. You created some multiple businesses. You wanted to actually bring that program and such programs to the world. You started with Brian Tracy, 9 years. Success Gyan grown this much with these many numbers. And this year, so there is a replication which is happening. Things are working. We know what works, and we are doing it again and again and again. And then March happens, March 2020. What happened, Suren?
Okay. The Lashish, from a 100 crore, well set, well oiled engine, which you've been working for 9 years, from
Hmm.
100 crores, zero. You know why? Because we are in the last of the food chain. Because right now is
Hmm.
lockdown. Even if it opens up social distancing, I don't foresee a training happening before 2021. So from 100 crore to zero, plus still offices and running costs because we still have employees. So
Sure.
that was me in April 1st thinking 100 to zero.
And I know something about zero because the person that you're talking to right now, we hit zero.
Yeah.
And so welcome. So I mean, like, this is why this conversation is important. This conversation is not a success story. This conversation is a story in which we are talking about how do we manage ongoingly to be successful. Because let's face it, I mean, I will definitely ask you, but isn't it true that even before this, Suren, whenever you have gone into auto mode, life has reminded you that life is not auto mode?
Yeah. I totally agree, Ashish. I believe nature kind of hits you and tells you that there's more potential in you. It's time to
Mm.
look at a different gear which you're not switched on. That's how nature whacks you. I
I
guess
just
that was the whack which I needed.
I just love this, Suren. I just love what you just brought out. So rather than saying that you are in auto mode, what you are saying is nature and life around just reminded you, hey, listen, you're probably you're settling for less from you.
I have a quote, Ashish. I
Mm.
believe nature packages opportunities and calls it challenges.
Got
So
it.
that's I truly believe in it, which means a challenge is actually a gift wrap where an opportunity is inside. You told me you
Super.
heard the zero story, right? Remember, we had a conversation March end after the lockdown started, and what did we do? We created success talks where you were the second speaker to come in to inspire the
Yes.
community. And remember, April 12th, within 15 days of lockdown, we did the biggest digital masters conference where you were the opening speaker. We had
What
3,000
a
people.
conference it
Remember that
was.
3,000 people. And for people like us, see,
Yes.
this created success Gyan in 9 years. This,
Mm.
correct?
Yep.
That's it, correct? If I can create this in 9 years, what can I create now? We have resources, we have here, and that's all
I
is
get
needed.
I get goosebumps, Suren. I just get goosebumps. I mean, this conversation is essentially saying, and that's something which I really believe in, that ordinary people have got extraordinary commitment.
Yeah.
And if we can be aligned towards that commitment and realize that whatever that got created was created by this
Yeah.
in tandem with things around, what else are you ready to do now?
Yeah.
So this is awesome, and I do recall that first ever digital conference with 3,000 people, and I remember how the numbers were shooting up. You know, we started with 1,500, 1,700, and then people were saying and 2,000, and are we ready to go? Are we ready to go? And that excitement, and when we reached out, and how long was that conference?
It was a 6 hour conference we did from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. And we had 3,000 people glued.
Glued. They were
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So essentially, one thing is clear, Suren. If there is something in this world, people are hungry to grow.
Yeah.
Would that be apt to say that people are hungry to grow?
Ashish, today I truly believe nature has put us in a level playing field.
Beautiful.
It doesn't matter who you are, a businessman, working professional, everybody is in a level playing field. People who are hungry to go will find the resources, and 5 years from now, they will think back and say COVID-19 is the best thing that happened to them. As simple as that.
Got it.
As simple as that. Because the resources are in your corner. You just need to click a mobile click. That's it. The resources are there. And you can actually reinvent. Totally reinvent. So you heard the story. 100 crores to zero. But the
Yep.
beauty is today we are sitting in July, just 3 months after COVID.
Yep.
Last week alone, I did 175 webinars.
Just
Last
imagine.
week alone. Last week alone. Last year I did 150 seminars, but last week I did 175 webinars and reached more than 1
And
lakh people in 1 week. Think about it.
and Suren, you didn't have to fly anywhere.
Exactly. See,
You
today
didn't have a
I'm
hotel to
talking with
book.
you on shots. I'm sitting having my shots and having a conversation with you. That could have never happened last year, right? Yeah.
Yep. So exactly, I mean, like, for us, what happened is that March 5th hit us. By the 6th, everything was cancelled. We had nothing, and within 10 days, we did our first digital. I did a first interface with a large organization. 3,000 people were sitting there, and then we had 10 days later, they liked it. They say, yeah, it is powerful and it is impactful. They called us again, for this time for their their dealers and their families. So first one was employees and families. Second, we went dealers and families, and from there on, what's very interesting is that this is an opportunity, Surain, for us to even revitalize what we think or we never thought were our strengths.
Yeah.
So imagine the experience that we had. Now we are adding knowledge to it. So getting more aware, where do we need to be abreast of? What are the things that we need to know? How can we turn technology into our ally with our creativity? What do you say to that?
Totally, Ashish. I love the way you have actually invented yourself in the last few months. I've been watching you. What you've been doing is pure magic, because I've seen you before 1,000 people create magic with the energy. But what I realized today is, today you're talking that few 100,000 people watching as a one-to-one. They're actually seeing one-to-one.
Yeah,
This could have
absolutely.
never
Just with
happened
this
in
size,
your-
just with this size.
Exactly. It's one-to-one. They can see your emotion. They can totally feel your energy. And what I've loved is the way you really reinvented your technology. Like today morning, I
Yeah.
woke up to a post you put in morning in LinkedIn and Facebook. I said, wow, Ashish, a guy who didn't know about technology today, doing videos on his own. I loved it, Ashish. I loved it.
I
The
tell
way
you,
it's been amazing.
and that's the best part. That I remember conversations with you, and I'm saying, Suren, how does this work? Yeah, how does this? And that time we were completely comfortably in the analog world, and then trying to take up. "Yeah, mujhe mat bata, mujhe mat bata." But seriously, Suren, this is. I am so excited. I'm 55 and I'm excited, Suren. I was sharing with my son this morning that I was very very excited about this. Just to let you know, the logo that you see is designed by a young colleague of ours, Divya Sane. She designed that thing on an app. All right. And then it has been continuously engaging for me, that I love to communicate. And then I found that there are many different ways to communicate. And so can I show you that ad that we made this morning? It was a very
I think,
simple one, but
yeah,
let me show it to
I
you.
want to see that. Can you pull up that ad if you can do that?
All right, all right. I'll just I'll just do that. We'll just very
Ashish,
simple thing, but
audience, the ad was not done by Ashish's team. Today morning, he woke up, used a technology, and created that video.
yeah.
I truly love what you do, Ashish. The way you really reinvent yourself, it's amazing.
One of the things that I have discovered in life, Suren, and that learning, I've asked myself this question, that many a time in my life, many a times in my life, I felt trapped by life. I felt that I do not want to do what I'm doing. I'm upset with where I am, and I've got complaints galore, and I've got a lot of people to blame. All right. A sum total of all these scenarios, I have noticed there is one way out for me.
Yeah.
One way out for me is if I can see hope that I can step out. All right. If I'm feeling trapped, then I have no way but to complain. Education and allowing yourself to learn something more gives us the access to do this life, to fulfill our passions, to fulfill whatever that we want to do in a slightly different way.
Yep.
And I think that is the key. When people like you, when you go out and you tell people that, hey, listen, you probably missed a bus,
Yeah.
but you missed that bus.
Yeah.
There are many buses, trains, and opportunities coming this way. And tell me one thing, and that's the thing that I want to ask you. Why do you think people have hope? Because a lot of people tell me at this point people don't have hope. I'm very clear people have hope. Except that what they are looking for is that little crack, that little opening where they say, hey, listen, I have hope, and yes, I can also see the path. And that's where I say, the kind of work that you and I are involved in is important. And therefore we have to be really relentless in this work, because personally I'm doing it for myself. I'm very clear. Each day when I wake up with no hope, I wake up with more news saying more bad news. I want to give myself hope, and therefore I dive into the unknown. How is it for you? Yeah, Suren will kind of come out. So this is something again. Suren, you're there? Suren, you there?
Yeah, back. Yeah,
Yep.
back. I'm back.
Yeah. So I was asking, yeah, Suren, you want to, can you
I can
hear
hear.
me?
I can hear you,
Yeah.
Ashish. You can go on. Yeah.
Yeah. So the question that I asked you is that, does 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 your actions, do they give you hope?
I have a very simple philosophy the way I live life,
Hmm.
Ashish. Whenever I have a challenge, it is not the end of the road. It is the bend in the road. It is not the end in the road. It is a bend in the road. And every time when you see life like that, it is a bend. It will always take you to a place which you never thought was actually possible at a higher level. So it's a simple psychology of how you operate here. I truly believe the outer world is a reflection of your inner world. You change the way you start thinking, and the world shows up the way you want it to show up. It's a complete
Wow.
different thought process. And
There's
I
nothing
truly,
out there. There's nothing out there. It's all here, and we
yeah,
are projecting it.
yeah. Had COVID not happened, take success. I would have done 100 crores. Instead of 150 seminars last year, I would have done 200 seminars, maybe, correct? But today, I have an option to reach anybody, anywhere in the world and give this
In the
education.
world. In the
In the world.
world.
In the world.
Yes.
I can sit at my home. I spend time with my family. I take care of my health. I eat properly. Plus, impact more people than ever possible. I
Wow.
think that's the beauty when actually you see life differently. And I believe everyone, no matter who they are, working professional, businessmen, students, everyone today has a reset button. They can reset and take life the way they want. Totally.
Beautiful. In fact, the reset part is something which really interests me also, because through my life, I have discovered that my existing career, the things that I'm doing at this moment, all this is not as long as my life. My life is longer than this. And moving forward, Suren, we are moving more and more into what people have been hearing often, and they're going to hear more often, is the gig economy. All
Yep.
right, where people may not have the kind of jobs that they were earlier used to. Okay, the jobs that they had qualified for, had a degree for, and then they qualified for it. Now in this new world, which is come already, how do you think this kind of education, or educating oneself ongoingly, how can a person actually arm herself for this new world, which is ready for the gig worker?
Thank you, Ashish, for bringing that, because people have to see the truth the way it is. The gig
Hmm.
economy is there, it's going to be there for life, it's not going to change. What does this mean? Suppose I'm running a business for 25 people. Normally, I would have an accountant full normally. But going forward, nobody is going to have an accountant if it's a 25 people company, because they're going to hire somebody who can spend 2 hours a week and do the accounts. That person will do 10, 20 companies and make money. What
Mhm.
is this supposed to mean? If you're an employee, if you do not add value to your company, they're going to let you go. As simple as that. Very simple.
Straight, straight.
Straight. There's no two ways to it. Okay. But the other way of opportunity is, if you're really good at something, you don't need to work for one company.
Yep.
You can do that to hundreds of people and actually make more money, and you can dictate the time you want to work. So the
True.
gig economy is going to be there, it's going to happen. But for people who just warm their seats in office, they need to wake up, because it will not work from anymore. You will let go. You will be let go, because there's no two way you're going to survive. So people watching, I think they really need to up what they're good at and be extremely good at that, where they are the best for people around it and people reach them for that. So the gig economy is the way the world is going to go. I know, Ashish, your son is studying in US, right? Your
Yeah.
son is studying in US, and I think you want him to do masters. What is happening on that front?
So, so what happened is that he's doing computer science and EECS, There's electronic engineering, computer science, and like an Indian father, I want him to have a double major, right? It's like that. What's Art doing? Yeah, he's working on his double major. I would like to have that. So I've been having a conversation with him. Then, hey, listen, you must do a double major. And he's been telling me, Baba, I'm not exactly, I said, come on. And like you're being smart with your son. A smart son, you're trying to be smart to him. He said, listen, Arth, it's good for the jobs also. When they see a degree, they'll say, oh, double major. He says, Baba, nobody other than you will be very happy if I do a double major. Because in a job, I am doing courses and programs inside of my study, which I'm interested in and which will add breadth to my study and depth of knowledge. I'm still not understanding. So I say, yeah, okay, I understand. Then I spoke to a friend of mine who works for a very large software company, very large software company. And I asked him, I said, Babu, what do you think about double major? He says, Dada, I'm at a position where I hire and fire people. And I hire and fire people not because of the degree that they have, but because are they making money for me or not?
Yeah.
So essentially, he hit it straight to me. Now, I don't like to hear such words, but he gave it straight to me. He essentially said, Dada, people are being hired and fired only if they are adding value or not.
Yeah.
And guess what, Suren? You have been a self-employed person, right?
Yeah.
And so have I. One thing which I have understood, the more you widen your impact, the greater you grow. It's absolutely straight. So that thing that I will grow with the company is only going to happen if you're going to widen your impact. How much more are you impacting with your work? And therefore, I'm absolutely, when you said, if somebody is thinking that they can just be warming their seat and I've been here for so long, doesn't work, my friend. Now people are going to be straight and they're going to, blame everything on COVID. So we have to be actually up our skill. Really, this is an opportunity, and not just up our skill to retain our wage earning possibilities, but I really like that point, which I think that it is a whole world of possibilities. I may be 55 and whatever is your age, we are learning each day, my friend. We are learning and finding new ways to express ourselves. Why should we hold ourselves back?
Yeah. As I told you, Ashish, level playing field. No matter what you like, this is what I totally believe. If you know your passion,
Hmm.
if you can build a profession around your passion, your life will be magic.
Wow.
As
Love
simple as
that.
that. Yeah.
Love
Like your life
that.
will be magic, correct? So, and it is possible. No matter what your passion is, you can actually build a profession, monetize it, and it is not like working. Because you love doing it, you can do 24/7, you will never get tired because you love doing it.
Yes.
It's as
Yes.
simple as that. And today
So
people have that opportunity.
they
People
have
really have
that opportunity. And I love it. Can you just take us through a couple of steps, Suren? Like, so we start with passion and
yeah.
then trying to make a profession out of. Can you just take us through something which people may
Very,
find of value?
let me give an example. Okay, very simple, Ashish. You need to really, I believe, just like each of us have a unique fingerprint. All of us have a unique fingerprint, right?
Yeah.
Each of us have a purpose which they only can fulfill in this earth at the best way. I truly believe in that. So all of us have a purpose driven life. If you can find that purpose where you are born for it to fulfill in this earth, if you can identify that, okay, and see if you can build a profession around it. Like I have a friend who was into IT. He's from Mumbai. Okay, he's from
Mm-hmm.
Mumbai. IT makes tons of money, but never loved what he did. One
Correct.
year before, he loves dogs. Okay, he loves dogs. Okay, so he went and learned how to train dogs. Today, he started a business where he's training dogs. He's actually making more money, sitting at home time and loving what he's doing and making tons of money. Can you believe that? From a IT to training dogs,
IT to
to
training
training dogs
dogs.
and making more money, more time, and living a fulfilled life. So identify what you truly love and find a way to build a profession around it. It is possible. No matter what you love, you will be able to build a profession around it. It's just totally, totally possible.
So I'll tell you one of the methods that I talk of with people. All right. And I try to break it down into munchable steps for people. All right. So it goes like this. The first step is look. Look and listen. And when you're looking and listening, look and listen all over. So don't just do here when you are looking. So look and listen. So look and listen for me has got another aspect. You mentioned that when you said that move. For me is when I'm in doubt, I move, Suren.
Yeah.
Because as I move, new horizons appear. See, typically, otherwise, we are just looking in this, that focus thing. I'm just focused here. And therefore, my possibilities and no possibilities are here. Now, when I move, new horizons appear. Now, after I've looked, I have found out there are certain things that this world needs at this point. We have not yet looked at myself. I'm just looking at what is it that the world needs, the world wants, or world may want. And right after that, look at yourself. Look at your capabilities, look at your strengths, and then look at your passion.
Yeah.
Look at the things that you had put on the back burner. I have not been able to do it. Forget it now. Now my time is gone. Now my kids are gone. No, pick those up.
Yeah.
So now start marrying your passion with your capabilities and with what the new world wants.
Yeah.
And for me, that's where retraining and upskilling is possible. Because there are people in this world, dear friend, who are ready to teach you, who are going to be that helping hand if only you reach out.
Yeah.
For me, it originates from your willingness, my willingness to reach out and say, hey, listen, because I'm very clear, Suren. I mean, for me, I met you through a very dear friend, Naidu.
Yeah.
All right. Now, at a point in life, about 6 years back, when I was doing the films across those 11 languages, I had one day spoken to Naidu and I said, Naidu, I've started, having conversations with organizations. Do you think that anybody, with any organizations that I could begin talking to? And he said, you know what? I would love to connect you to a very dear friend of mine who's very passionate about this work. And that's when our first meeting happened. Was it in Hyderabad? Or
Yeah, we met up in Hyderabad first.
We met up in Hyderabad first. Now, what I meant is that it took for me to reach out. Now, as an actor, it is very difficult, my friend. A lot of my ego comes in the way.
Yeah.
What will you think? I'm an actor. I'm trying to reach out to speak. But trust me, my friend, through my life, even as an actor, I have understood the dignity in asking for work, the dignity in wanting to grow. All right. And that's something which I really want to share with people, that when those 1,500 people or those people who gather in a room early morning over the years that I've seen with you, those are people who have dignity in wanting to learn at whichever age they are.
Yeah.
That sense.
Ashish, I love the way you actually gave a recipe for people how to identify the passion and actually build a profession. I love the way you put that recipe across. It is brilliant. I think people are already getting the way you said it. As you said, Ashish, we have to thank Naidu here. If not for that connect, we would have never met. Correct? But what has happened because of what we met? You have come to our rooms and transformed thousands of people. Plus, today we are still good friends where we have a conversation where we learn from each other to up the game.
Yeah.
We learn from each other to up the game.
Yeah. And Suren, may I just at this point itself, share with the world that in my digital transformation, you have played an extraordinary role. You, Sid Rajshekhar, your entire team has played such an extraordinary role, and how much you have taught me and continue to teach me. You see, my team has learned from you, your team, and the way Sid generously. Now, that is, what touches me, Suren, that when you reach out to learn, there are people who are willing to teach you. For me, that is something which I want to share with people, that there is dignity in asking to be taught, and there is dignity in helping others learn.
Yep. Yep.
You're not helping people, here, take this. No, you're sharing people, hey, do you want to learn this? It's a bit like, as though you're a vegetarian, it's a bit like teaching people how to fish. And that's what you're doing, Suren.
Yep. Simple, Ashish. We believe, as a trainer of fraternity in the success game, we believe in a simple formula. Giving is the new receiving. As simple as that. Giving is the new receiving. Very, very simple. And what you said is apt, Ashish, because I truly believe what I've learned from, if you ask me one thing, what really inspires me about you? See, you were in theater, very successful. You could have stayed there, but you become a best-selling actor. national award winning actor, making tons of money. You could have stayed there, but you pivoted to training because you really want to inspire people. At every point of time, when you're really doing good, you pursued something which really you want to excel. That is a quality which completely inspires me because I believe all of us have gears which we have not still seen. We can switch it on
Mm.
whenever we want, and we can actually reach our potential. Can I share a story? Because I believe people get that story, they kind of
Yes.
understand what is the potential which all of us have. Okay, it's a
Please.
story about everyone knows this. Adi Shankara, Shankaracharya, everybody's heard the name. He
Mm.
lived only for 32 years, Ashish. Only 32
Mm.
years. Still, there's a debate whether it was in 7th century or is BC. People don't know his exact date. But
Mm.
in 32 years, the man went across India 3 times by walk. 3 times. He's the one who actually pulled the Vedas and compiled the Vedas. Before that, it was loose scripture. He pulled the
Okay.
Vedas.
Mm.
He set up the 4 monasteries across 4 corners of the country, 4 mutts which are still there.
Much,
And the
yes.
most important people don't know. He is the one who actually pulled out Bhagavad Gita from Mahabharata. Nobody knew Bhagavad Gita before him. He only pulled it out from Mahabharata and gave it to the world. All at the age of 32. Think about that. With the topic you just chosen today, do more with less. We actually focus what we want, what impact we want to create with the time we have, with the
Mm.
potential we have still not utilized. We can really make a major impact in this world. That's exactly
True.
what I want to share. Because what you've done is phenomenal. What we have learned from each other and we are growing is, I think we're really making a big difference in what we're doing. I believe
Mm.
everybody has got the same potential where they can really do 10x of what they're doing right now.
Fantastic. So essentially, what you're telling to people at large is that each one of us and the people who are watching have reached a particular stage in their career. Okay, they
Yep.
have succeeded and they have reached wherever. And at this point, there has been a breakdown. Just to let you know, each of my moves in my career have inside of me having to deal with a breakdown. So
Yep.
I'm not new to breakdown. Breakdown is something which I have, I had a many pre-COVID moments
Yep.
when things stopped. Okay, and that's and it's same for all of us. So essentially, what you're saying to each one of us who are even listening in at this point is that if there is that blockage in your career path, then there is a blockage in that career path,
Yep.
and there are
Yep.
many other careers possible for you.
Yep. Ashish, I want to do a little twist in that, okay?
Please.
Because I think somewhere people should understand the truth. People are
Mm.
saying, I want to go back to normal, I want to go back to normal. My question was before March actually normal? That's
Yeah.
my question. It was
Seriously.
not normal. Take my life. I was living from airport, suitcase, running from city to city, right? Not spending time with the family, not taking care of my health, and
Yeah.
whatever. How can I call that normal? Correct? Each of
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
you're working 16 hours a day, not spending, not taking. I don't think that was normal. Correct? Now you have a
Absolutely.
wake-up call, you have a reset, and you can reprogram your life the way you want.
Beautiful.
This
Beautiful.
is the best gift anyone can actually get if they
You know
see
what?
it correct.
So, Suren, I'll just share this with you. There are many things that we want, each one of us wanted to do, and we are not doing because it's going on. Suren, I don't want to change. It's like working. Yeah, I could have done it, but right now. But this period has upset the apple cart.
Yep.
It is like dhapap. It is a
Yeah.
dham, broken it all. Now it says the apple cart has been upset. The apples are all over. How do you want to rearrange it?
Yep. Yep.
See, the point here is that this reset is very, very clearly, it's not a reset like a this is my ability that I can rethink. One thing is very clear, Suren, for me. My auto mode won't work.
Yep.
The things that I was good at, things that I knew I'm going, Suren, that works. Suren, that works. Well, doesn't work. As you said, your blueprint is gone now, my friend. You just had to write a new one. So this is something I'm living forward for me, and doing more with less for me is a very direct connotation. Is for me creativity. This for me is now the same resources or whatever resources I have at this moment. Can I rearrange it? Can I do more? What else can I do with what I have? For me, that is the ingenuity. For
Yep.
example, Suren, all of us love to talk about people who have achieved a lot, right? Now, you as a businessman, tell me one thing, as an entrepreneur, what were the weren't there variables when you even set up Success Gyan in the first place 9 years back?
Yep.
Yep.
Ashish, I came into industry where 25, 30 people have tried and burned their fingers because when I came in the training industry, we were bringing international speakers from outside India,
Mhm.
correct? So there's a speaker fee, there's a cost, there's a marketing cost, there's a banquet cost, there's food cost. The
Sure.
only revenue was ticketing revenue. And 2012, people didn't understand the value of training. So when we used
Sure.
to charge 20, 25,000 rupees for a 2-day training, people never used to come in. So people tried and lost a lot of money and stopped it. So I
Mm.
came into industry which never had a benchmark and no one
Mm.
was successful. But I understood one thing: people need this education, and I know if they come into my rooms, their life will change for sure. That's why my tag is inspiring India. That's the tag. That's my tagline. Inspiring India. That's my tagline.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
redid the model. What we did differently was we kind of reinvented the model saying that let me charge very less and give extreme high value. So the
Mm.
first time in 2014 when we redid the model was we brought Robert Kiyosaki, did a program in Delhi, Bangalore. He's the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. And we charged the ticket for 1,250, where the five-star meals alone is 2,500 rupees. People knew that. And people said, how is this possible? But when they came and experienced Robert Kiyosaki, they understood the value of this education. They started buying our courses. So I kind of reinvented the whole model, and that has worked like magic. Now, after 2014, I'm reinventing again. We're going on,
Yes.
we're reinventing, and
Yes.
now I'm doing free master classes. I tell people to come to my free master class, 90 minutes. You like it, you continue education with the trainer. Simple. It's
Mind
as
blowing.
simple.
In fact, so the takeaway for me, and takeaway, I think, if people can just look at themselves, is that the principle which you brought and you got results with when you began your life have not changed. It's just
Yes.
that over a period of time, we thought that those principles need not be used again. We
Yep.
had put them in the cold storage. So I will share with you that when I started, apart from my Hindi films, as I started moving into films other than Hindi, and I started with Tamil and Kannada. So the first thing that struck me was the complete discomfort because you are gone into a new territory. Now, one had built a career over the 5, 6 years or 7 years in Bombay. So one had done, and then one had reached some place. Now to begin afresh. Now I may have had, had I had that, and sometimes I always feel that when crisis doesn't give you time to have to be inspired.
Yep.
Crisis doesn't say there's a Russian joke on this, and I would love to ask you that. They say that you see the bear, you're afraid, and then you run, or do you see the bear and you run and then you're afraid?
Yeah.
Because if I see the bear, then I'm afraid, and then I try to, the bear has gotten me till then.
Yeah.
So essentially, you see the bear and you move, and then you're afraid. So if we look at it, and that's a principle that I believe in. How will it be if we can turn everything that is happening in our life into our ally,
Yeah.
into our friend, into something which is, what I call the pressure, the toothpaste moment? That if
Yeah.
the pressure isn't there, the toothpaste won't come out. And how I liken it is that toothpaste was used to only come out there. We also have punctured some more holes. When you do it, now it's also, we are trying out these possibilities. And it wouldn't have happened, we would have just slept our way through it. Nah, yeah, yeah, we did this. Remember, we did that. Remember, we did. Now we are saying, remember, we are doing this today. This I created today. This we are doing today. Suren is saying, you know what, Ashish, this month we did this. Like it's not even 3 months back. And
Yeah.
that's the passion which I love. That we got to be alive, my friends.
Yeah. Ashish, both of us agree that the last 90 days we have never been more alive than before. Like
I
for
tell
me,
you.
it's been the most exciting 90 days. I want to give a simple analogy for people to understand, like what you said. Let's take all of us are like wood, and COVID happened, we have become coal, right? We're all coal right now. Now, nature is applying pressure.
Hmm.
Okay, you have a chance from a coal to become a diamond or become dust.
Choose.
It's the same carbon from wood which becomes coal. The same coal same carbon becomes diamond. So the
Choose.
pressure is applied. As pressure applies, you can polish yourself and become a diamond, or you can go to dust. It's your choice. But the pressure is
True.
started. Pressure is
Super.
totally started. So the
Super.
question is, I truly believe every single person who's out there watching right now, it was 11 a.m. You could have had breakfast with your family, you should have gone watch TV, but you are watching right now. I truly believe you're a diamond in the making. Just believe in that. That's about it. And in 2, 3 years from now, you will really shine and you will get inspired and you will make a difference in other people's life. I truly believe in this, Ashish.
Absolutely. And Suren, there is much that we want to impact in our life. We have a lot of dreams to fulfill. We've got a family, we've got, they've got their aspirations. And for us to either, so for me also, as you said, that dust for me is that saying that there is so much bad news. I mean, today we have had the news of Mr. Bachchan and his
Yeah.
family, Abhishek and Mr. Bachchan also, having contracted this. Yesterday, a very dear friend, somebody who's very, very close to me, he lost his life in Haldwani, Reshu. You know, so it's coming closer. It's coming all around. Now all of us have got individual such stories. We know such horror stories that are happening around. Now the question here is very, very clear. Either we let that fear take over us,
Yeah.
either we let that apprehension take over us and stay in what's going to happen, how long are we going to be, consider we are going to be in this as long as we need to.
Yeah.
But so then that is what excites me, that we need not wait for this to pass.
Yeah.
We have the possibility of creating something extraordinary during this moment, and therefore the entire online world is available to us, and thankfully our internet is also holding on.
Yeah, for a change. Ashish, I just want to say this, Ashish. See, very simple, Ashish. This I learned from Jack Canfield, who's one of my teachers, author of Chicken
Please.
Soup for Soul.
Yes.
E plus R is equal to O. Okay.
Can you
E is
please
the
repeat it?
E plus R is equal to O. E is the event. COVID
Event.
19 happened.
Mhm.
Nobody can change it. It's hit everybody's life. That's the honest truth. But R is your response, which is in your control. Okay. The way you respond to what has happened will determine the outcome. So the outcome is always in your control. E
So
plus R
event
equal to O.
event is not in your control, but your response is in your control. That
Exactly.
will result in the outcome.
Exactly. As simple as that. See,
Beautiful.
are people getting COVID 19 around you? Yes. Are people, some of us who know people are dying? Yes. But can you make a different change there? You can't. But can you filter that information going to where? Yes.
Yes.
You don't need to get that information, right? See, I do not see news at all. I do not see news because I believe it is not serving me. It's only not
Yes.
serving me. So I filter my information. I go internet 5 minutes a day to see what's happening in the world. That's about it. Rest
Sure.
all I focus on what is my mission, what is my purpose, how can I add value, how can I do more with less. That's all I do every day.
In fact, absolutely true. For me, the zone is that I will need to take care of myself. I need to take care of what I allow this to be occupied by.
Yeah.
And therefore, that is the choice that each one of us has. Do we want to forward things and news and further do it, or do we want to actually spread that, hey, we can be educated? This present, in fact, even not just COVID, the economic part. For me, this conversation is about people getting that each one of us can re-educate ourselves, reskill ourselves, reposition ourselves, all right, and repurpose our life itself. So I
Yeah.
think that's a fantastic note for us to really complete this conversation. Do we have any interesting questions which are coming in, which I would love to for us to respond to? Okay, so Nagaraj Kuchangi has loved that thing about that. Do we have any questions which are coming up which we would want to deal with? Uh, there have been resources. I think okay, all right. So yeah, so people are talking about how each one of them can learn, can change, and I think that's the choice that each one of us has. And on a slightly different note, I want to show off one more thing, huh? So then this you haven't seen. Let me
Yeah.
see if this works. Okay, this is again something which I learned 2 days back. I've been experimenting with this. This is something which I created. Okay. Again, it is en route. So one of the things that I also want to share with people is, um, done is better than perfect. All right.
Yep.
So please go about and try doing things. Don't be scared that what will people think, what will people say, does it look okay? Because people, they look me on the face, you are an actor, no? Then how come you're talking? That's okay with me, my friend. I'm
Yep.
also an actor. I'm also this. So people will look up and they may challenge you. Sometimes just you being trying to do something differently inspires them. All right. So I am sharing right now another thing that I created 2 days back. Okay, just have a look at this. Okay, let me just share this with you. All right. I hope it plays well on this. Let me hope. Let's see.
Ashish, that was mind blowing. You're getting better every single day.
My friend, I'm not joking. All that I did was that just I'm making friends with technology.
Yep.
you know Technology is there. Brilliant minds are working for us, Suren. Brilliant minds are working for us. They are just waiting for us to reach out. you know Education, learning is happening in so many different forms, my friend.
Yep.
I really think that people need to cut the number of hours that they're sleeping.
Yeah.
Wake up early and really join that 5 a.m. club, because Suren, I love the way you wake up early. I love to have those morning interactions with you. But seriously, when the mind is fresh in the morning, and I see so many possibilities at this stage. Even when we are going through the absolute now is looking very dangerous, and how will it happen? Imagine, hope is there.
Yeah.
And that's what our work is about, right, Suren?
Ashish, I just want to add, you said done is better than perfect. I
Yeah.
truly believe, Raji, one of my friends says that success is shabby. I've met hundreds of successful people, millionaires people. Everybody says the same thing.
Love it.
Success is shabby.
Yeah.
People who are perfectionists will never get it started. Just start. Take that first step. The second step you'll eventually see. That's how life plays out. One more thing I want to add, Ashish, because I've been
Yeah.
seeing some of the questions here. To all of you, I believe today AQ, adaptability quotient, is more important than IQ or EQ. It's no more your IQ, no more your EQ, your AQ. How fast can you adapt to change? Adaptability quotient. That's the name of the game. And the two words I tell all my friends and all my trainers, the two words which you really need to know: behavioral flexibility. Behavioral flexibility. No more that I will do like this only. I am
I
only good
only
at
do.
this. All that
I
stuff
only
won't
do like
work.
this.
This is the only thing I know. All those things won't work. You need to have AQ, adapt to change, and behavioral flexibility. Those are the two words. Yeah, Ashish.
Fantastic. So this has been an extraordinary, inspiring interaction with you, Suren, as usual. And I'm so happy that even as you and I interacted, there's so many people who kind of watched it. They will watch it again and replays. I'm just inviting you all to visit the work that Suren and his team do at Success Gyan. Please go, and they are creating some amazing programs in which, wherever you are at this very moment, sitting at home, you can create value for yourself with the actually increase your earning. You got an ability to increase the way you are optimizing your own self. And there are so many self-made successes which are happening. So I really want you to look at Success Gyan and look at how you can impact. So rather than being somebody who's reporting on life, you are somebody who are causing things in life yourself. And That's the journey that Suren and I are engaged in. We at Avid Miner are passionate about allowing people to see life in a different way. Therefore, we have shows like this. And next week, I look forward to meeting you again with some interesting additions in two of our shows that we do. One of them is called Two of Us, Talking Zindagi, which happens on a Saturday. And the other one is Living Forward. We'll keep you posted on this. Till then, keep clued into life, my friend. But as Suren said, don't get caught up by the news that social media and news gives you. Don't be caught up by that. Just be informed by them, and then go about completing whatever you are committed in your life. Suren, any last passing words as we kind
I
of
just want to thank you, Ashish, because it's been a great conversation. I love talking to you. Our talks on coffee has always been fun, but today it was great that we could have a conversation and tell people this is the best time to live. This is the best opportunity to have. Grab it so that few years from now you can come back and look and say COVID-19 is the best thing that happened to you. That's about it. Thank you so much, Ashish. Great conversation. Thank you guys for watching. One more time, some other place we'll definitely meet.
thank you, my friend. Alshukran Bandhu, Alshukran Zindagi. Let's rock. Let's take care of ourselves and let's keep growing. Appreciate it. You have an extraordinary Sunday. Thank you once again, Suren. Thank you.